Hello and welcome back to Sister Cousin Lifestyle Channel. This is Sandy here, and today I am participating in the One Pot Challenge, cooking challenge, that is hosted by Creatively Miss Me with Stephanie and Wani of Wani's House. So with this challenge, it was pretty simple. The only thing that we needed to do was select a recipe that could be prepared in one pot, provide the recipe for it, and that was basically it, to have fun. So I have decided that I'm going to share a West African inspired peanut stew. And the reason I say inspired is because I'm not going to follow the recipe verbatim, but the elements of it are what the peanut stew has in it, basically. So I've got some collards here, I've got some crushed red pepper, I've got some peanut butter, I've got some tomato paste, I've got vegetable broth. Oh, I'm making mine vegan, by the way. I think many times in West Africa it's made with chicken, beef, or lamb, but I am making a vegan version of it as well. Sweet potato, onion, some ginger, some garlic cloves. I'm putting cilantro in mine. I don't believe that cilantro is in the actual African stew, but I have some that I don't want to go bad. The same is true with these carrots, so I'm going to be putting those in there. Cumin. I'm using a little bit of turmeric because I put that in everything that I make for the anti-inflammatory purposes, and 21 seasoning salute is something else that I put in everything that I make. So these are all the ingredients. The recipe is going to be in the description box below. A special thanks to Stephanie at Creatively Miss Me and Wani of Wani's House for hosting this challenge. I'm really excited about it because I'm on a healthy journey. So I'm going to make this, and this is going to be something that I'll be able to eat and not have to feel guilty about it. So let me just get started, and I'm going to show you what I do to prepare this. All right, so the first step is to mince the garlic. So I have 4 cloves here that I've already peeled, and I also need to peel the ginger. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and then chop that up as well. And I just have this amount of garlic. Like I said, I'm not really following a true recipe. I mean, ginger, fresh ginger. So this is just what I'm putting in, but I will put the recipe as best I can in the description box as far as the ingredients that I'm using. So let me go ahead and get this ready. I'm using this garlic mincer and move on through the process. So I've got the garlic here, and now I'm going to go ahead and grate the ginger. The next step after this is going to be to dice the onion. So I have like a medium-sized onion here that I'll be dicing next. The next thing that I'm going to do is take a tablespoon of olive oil and put it in my Instant Pot. And then in the pot, I'm going to put the garlic and the ginger. I have to think about what I had here. So everything is going to be going in the Instant Pot. And I'm going to put the onion down in there as well. All right, so I have that in the Instant Pot, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it on saute. I'm definitely not going to let that go for 15 minutes. I'll just keep watching it till I see that the onions are translucent, and then I'll know it's time to move to the next step. The next thing I'm gonna do is to peel and dice my potato. And that's hard for me to do. My hands don't have a lot of strength in them. I know you can kind of boil it a little bit and you know, then it's easier to do, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to get it diced off camera so you don't see me struggling here. And I'll be right back. All right, so I went ahead and put the sweet potatoes in, and I also cut up just a little small amount of cilantro to put in there. I'm putting a teaspoon of cumin in the pot now. I'm also putting 1/4 cup of the crushed red peppers. This is the cumin that I'm using. And since I'm using 21 Seasoning Salute, I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of that as well as the turmeric in here. And apologies that you can't really see. I'm gonna put the carrots in, and I'm gonna try to hold this up so that you can see the carrots going in the pot. I'm gonna let that saute a bit, and let me get the crushed red peppers as well. I'm gonna use about a teaspoon of the crushed red pepper. And I just drop that down in there. And this is gonna just saute. I'll give you a look at what it's looking like. All right. I'm cutting up my collards, and then the next thing that's going to happen is I'll put in the tomato sauce and the peanut butter and the broth, and that'll be the last of the prepping. So I've got my collard greens all ready, but first I'll do the tomato sauce. And I just have a 6-ounce can here, tomato paste. I forgot the peanut butter. That's actually the next thing along with the tomato paste is the peanut butter. And I'm gonna do about 1/2 cup. And I couldn't find my 1/2 cup for some reason. So I'm using this 1/4, and I'll just double it. So I'm just adding that in. All right, that is in. And I'm also going to go ahead and add my chicken broth. All right, so this is what's happening so far. The peanut butter hasn't yet melted, but it will. So it'll just continue on now. And then I'm gonna add the broth. All right, so 4 cups of the broth. And it's starting to look like stew. The last step is the collard greens. But I'm not gonna wait too much longer before I put them in because I want them to be really tender. So that's what I'll do. Now my inspiration for this stew, like I said, it is inspired by a West African stew. And the history, or a little bit of history of the actual West African stew is that it originates from the Mandinka and the Bambara people, and I know I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly, of Mali in Africa, of course. And it's also called mafi or walouf. And it typically has meat, some type of meat in it, but like I said, I am just loosely following a recipe, so I'm not putting any meat in it, but sometimes you'll see it with lamb or chicken or beef or something like that in there. So since it's Black History Month, I really wanted to do something to honor my ancestors, and so I decided to do a recipe that is inspired by some of the flavors from my motherland, right? So we don't typically eat with peanut butter here in the States, but it's commonly used in African dishes. So I wanted to make something with that as my inspiration. So I'm gonna go ahead and begin to put my collards in here. And I may not use all that I prepared because I don't even remember the recipe that I had looked at, how many it said to put in there, but I don't want to overwhelm it and have too many. So I think that's all I'm going to put in there. So I'll have all these left over and I'll just cook those separately and make myself a piece of cornbread or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on the Instant Pot and go ahead and let that simmer on down and let those collards get nice and tender. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes and this should be all set now. This is what it's looking like. Kind of looks like a squash soup or something. It's probably not typically this yellow, but I did put turmeric in it, so that may be one of the reasons why it's this color, but it looks delicious. The collards look like they've cooked down nicely, and the potatoes are tender, so it is good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this soup on a nice, cool February day. Thank you so much for watching, and please be sure to check out Stephanie, Creatively Miss Me with Stephanie and Wani's House. A special thanks again to them for hosting this challenge. There will be a playlist. Please be sure to stop over there and check out their videos as well as all the other participants and get some ideas for some one-pot convenient meals. Nothing like it, especially in the cold winter months. See you back here next time. Please don't forget to subscribe and comment and rate, and have a great day. Bye-bye.